Hey Sharon, what's going on?
Hi, Tony. Nothing much. Typical, week.
So last week we had a backdrop. We were in some fancy house, but we both used the same house. So, boy, this looks a lot better. The
I think
Washwick
so.
name and behind us.
There you go. A little bit more jazzed up and a little bit better for mid check-in in June. No fireplaces going on behind us.
No, we got our turtle from our other office, and some
Yeah,
books. So it makes it look like we do some reading in here.
there we go. Exactly.
So last time we talked about doing a mid-year check-in, just taking a moment to pause and ask, where am I right now? And
Hmm.
that's important because most people don't stop long enough to even do that.
Nah.
And I think awareness is really your first step. Today is really what comes next, because recognizing something doesn't change it. We need to take action, and
Yeah.
the reality is this is the point of the year that matters. You still have time to make adjustments, but you don't have unlimited time. We never have unlimited time. Um,
We wish.
there's a window here where small changes can make a difference, and something you can see by the end of the year.
Yeah, exactly. And what we see all the time, at least I think, is that people aren't unaware. They actually do notice when something is just not quite right, you know? Maybe something's gotten more expensive, maybe it's not fitting their situation anymore, or maybe it just feels off. But life does get busy. I mean, it gets busy. And it's easy to say, I'll get to that later. And unfortunately, later has just a way of sneaking up on people. You
Totally
know,
agree.
you know, honestly, if our office turtle, Smokey Joe, could run the schedule, everything would be on later. If you've seen the framed picture, you brought that up. He's in the office. He's very calm. He's very patient. He's very slow. Great for a turtle, but not great for decisions that actually have timing attached to them.
I agree, and one of the biggest patterns we see is that people wait, and not because they don't care, but because nothing feels urgent yet. There's always more time, and when nothing feels urgent, it's easy to push it aside. But waiting always has a cost. It might not show up immediately, but it shows up over time. Things get more expensive, options start
Hmm.
to narrow, and suddenly what could have been a simple fix becomes a more stressful situation. You ever seen that?
Oh, you think I've ever seen that? Oh, goodness. When somebody comes and asks us for a quote, I'm like, when's your renewal? 3 days from now or tomorrow? Oh, okay. Not much time. And in all honesty, that really also pushes off options, you know, because it just really takes off you lose that flexibility. When you have the more time and you actually are starting to slow it down, look at your options, compare, ask questions, it's much easier to make that decision that actually fits you. But when time runs out because you're constantly putting something later, now it's not about choosing what's best. Honestly, it's about choosing what's still available.
Yep.
And that feels very different because the difference a lot of times is in the cost.
It really does. And that's when we hear people say, I wish I had looked at this earlier. That's probably a common phrase
Mm.
we hear after the fact.
Yeah, that's right. Most of the time, a small adjustment earlier would have made the whole situation simpler, less stressful, and like I just said, less expensive. I mean, I just had a client we were talking to, and they were talking about their home and their auto insurance. And um, he was like, well, I'm not looking to quote that right now because I just was able to save myself. I moved over to a new carrier, and I was able to save myself $4,000 a year. And my response to that is, okay, can I just ask you did you keep the other policy for quite some time and you stopped looking? You just let it renew? And he goes, how'd you know? I'm like, because a $4,000 savings lets me know you let something sit for far too long.
How do we know it's not our first day?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, this tends to follow a really predictable pattern. Earlier in the year, there's time, there's flexibility. You can step back, review things, and make a thoughtful decision without pressure.
Yeah, then life happens.
Yeah, it
Things
sure
get
does.
busy, like my college kids. Priorities shift, and that decision gets pushed just a little farther out over and over again.
Yeah, and then something changes, a deadline hits, something increases, something shifts, and now it feels
Hmm.
urgent.
Yeah, that urgency changes the way decisions get made, like we were saying earlier. You know, now you're just trying to solve the problem quickly and you're not being intentional, you're being reactive.
Yeah, I tell my clients all the time, especially when they call ahead of time, I say, boy, I so much appreciate when you're proactive like this, because unfortunately we have a lot of clients that call, I need
Yeah,
insurance today. So, and when decisions are made under pressure, there's usually more stress, not just during the
absolutely.
decision, but afterwards too.
Yeah, and even during the year, because you're not sure if you actually made the right decision. Um, we're aware that you didn't. We would have loved to have offered you something different. We would have loved to have been able to save you. Um, but that's why we'll, put you in the system and kind of hit you up earlier the next time when you're giving us a call.
Yeah, which is exactly why we're trying to help people avoid, because in most cases, this isn't about doing something big. It's just about doing something early.
Yeah, and that's the encouraging part here. Taking control doesn't mean you have to overhaul everything most of the time. As we even said the last time we spoke, it's one small step. Look at one policy, look at one thing, review something, ask a
It
question. Just
doesn't
that
have to
simple
be
adjustment.
complicated.
No,
Yeah,
doesn't.
but
Not
that
at
one
all.
step creates space. It gives you more options down the road instead of fewer.
It's like making a small course correction. You barely feel it in the moment, but it changes where you end up.
It's the exact opposite of Smokey Joe's strategy, which is no course correction at all.
Yeah, just a steady, slow movement and hoping everything works out eventually.
And eventually is not a great plan when timing matters.
No, not at all.
So the takeaway is simple. Don't wait for something to force your decision. If you've already noticed something that's your signal, take
Yeah,
advantage of it.
yeah. I say take a few minutes this week, just to make that one adjustment. That's it. Just one step forward.
Doesn't have to be perfect, just has to be progress.
And that one step can save you time, money, and a lot of stress later. Besides
Yeah,
that, your agents will like you a little bit better as well. We
we
like
like
to,
we like all our
contrary to popular
clients.
belief, we like to actually save people money. We like to actually get them hooked up with a policy that fits what they're doing right now, not what they were doing 10 years ago.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
that's always our goal. Fix it now before it costs you.
And like, you were saying, if you need a reminder, just picture Smokey Joe in that frame, taking his time
Too much time.
and doing exactly what we don't want you to be doing.
Right, right, right.
Yeah. So I appreciate the talk, Tony. Um, I'm gonna even take it, in house for myself. Gonna sit down. I was actually just talking with our in-house retirement guy, and I was like, "Hey, look, I need to sit down with you, and I need to review the things that Especially my husband's been having a trail of things behind him for the past 20 years, so I'm gonna take it to heart as well.
It's a message for
Appreciate this chat.
everybody
Yeah,
in all different categories, not just what we're talking about.
yeah. So it's at least something I appreciate. Thank
Well,
you,
thank
Tony.
you, Sharon. Have a
See you
nice
next
day.
time. You
Bye
too.
bye.